Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the live stream. Really quick, I'm hoping the audio sounds good because the last live stream I did, it was not good. And well, I had to cut out the first 15 minutes and start over again. Today we are going to talk about FPS, or what we also call frames per second. My name is Brad and I am a pilot, and I also love to do video. And this channel is all about helping you improve your drone videos, but guess what? You can actually improve your own normal videos with the information I give you. And again, today I am going to talk about frames per second, or FPS. I'm going to say FPS a lot during this stream. I'm going to go through the beginning of this. I'm going to give you all my little tips and tricks. And it might take just a few minutes. And after that, we will have a Q&A and let you guys ask me questions about FPS or anything about the drone world, and we'll let it go for as long as it goes. So first of all, what I want to do is we got to talk about the differences between the recorded FPS and the render FPS. There's not really any difference. Thank you for telling me I sounded good. There's really not any difference between the two, but it's how you use them. You record your frames per second can be anything from 25, it can be 25, 30, 48, 60 and on up, and you want to use that based on what you're doing the project for. To give you an idea, 25 is usually used for film, a film look. 30 is usually used for a TV look. 48 is a little bit higher end. I believe the Lord of the Rings had 48, and some games will actually stream in 60. You don't need to have a render FPS any higher than 60. I personally don't like the way a 60 FPS video looks. They just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look realistic to me, but it's probably just me being old. What I like to do is I like 30 frames per second, which is what you're going to see most of this in. Now, why would you, I'm going to come back to here for a second. Why would you want to record in a different frame per second FPS than you would rendering? Well, it's very simple, and really the only thing I know of is if you want to do slow motion or slow-mo, however you want to say it. Because let me just show you really quick on how this works. Let's say you record your film or whatever in 60 frames per second. Well, every second you've got 60 frames, and then you're going to render it in 30 frames. And then you see this little thing here. Now you have two pictures basically for every frame. Now when you go slow-mo, boom, now you have one frame for every frame, and it's 30, and now it's slow-mo, and it just goes a lot smoother is what it is. It's a lot smoother, and I'll show you here in just a second. If you look on this right here, if you notice the left side, this was recorded in 30. It was recorded in 30 and then rendered at 30. But then when you do half speed, it's very hard to tell, but quite honestly, frame 1 and frame 2 of 30 frames per second is actually the same picture twice, because that's what it has to do. If you go half the speed, it doesn't have any more information than what is recorded. When you do 60 frames per second, I know these two pictures look the same, but in the second one, the second picture, you're going to see how they're not the same. You have more information to stretch out a little bit better. So if you did 120 frames per second, you could go 1/4 speed and have even a smoother look. Now, if you look here, here's frame 1 of 30 and frame 2 of 30. Notice the only way you see the difference is because I have it frame 2 and frame 1 right above me. Okay, there is no difference, but that is exactly what it looks like. And my friend was so nice that he decided, I asked him very nicely to run for me. So as you see, both frames are identical. But now let's pop over to the 60 frames per second. Check this out. 1, frame 2. See how they're just a hair different? That little bit of difference makes it look a lot better. And again, if you had 120 frames per second, then it would look even smoother. So that's what that looks like. Now, that all is well and good, but how does that really translate? Now let me show you these in full sort of speed, okay, but it's pretty much slow-mo right here. So here is our 30. See how it looks just a tad jerky, but that's how I feel. It doesn't feel very smooth. See, check that out. Now we're going to head over to the 60 frames per second. Look how much smoother that is. It's night and day. Now, if I took this 60 frames per second and slowed it down even more, it would look like the 30 frames per second. But if I did this in 120, obviously, it can go even better. So, this is really all the reasons I have. I mean, the slow-mo is so much better and so much more smooth when you do 60 frames per second or a higher frame rate when you record. I always render my videos in 30 frames per second. Here, I can run this one again. See, again, the top, I record in 60 frames per second, so in 1 second I have 60 frames. I render in 30 frames, so I have 2 pictures for every frame that I need. Right there. I like my animation. You'll just have to get over this for a minute. And then once I do the slow-mo, I now have 1 frame for every second, and it really makes it that much smoother. I mean, you can just tell that's how much smoother it is. So now, guess what? That's really all I have. I mean, that's all the information. So now I want Q&A. So that was pretty quick and easy. Do you have any questions? Now, I do want to say some things I am doing. I'm still working on the edit for my unboxing of the other drone I did. No, it's not my Phantom that I'm unboxing, so I want to just be clear with that. I haven't edited that video yet. I'm doing this as a live stream simply because I haven't had time to put a proper video together for this. I didn't have time to shoot it today, and this makes it a lot easier. I had these animations. I threw them together really quickly, and basically I like the idea of having this live stream so you guys can ask me questions on frame rate or drones or video and how you can make your videos better, because that's what I'm about. I want to make your videos better. I want to help you guys out. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. I will probably talk a little bit more in the future. I may even do another live stream tomorrow about why I don't fly my Autel anymore. There is a very good reason behind that, and why I have kind of pointed towards DJI. I know I sound like I'm a fanboy. I do enjoy their product, but I'm not that big of a fanboy. It's just right now it's the best drone that you can get for the money, for the features and everything else. But again, that's another video. Right now we want to talk about frames per second. Do we have any questions on anything? I mean, yesterday we had such an awesome interaction with everybody. See, we got like a whole 4 people watching, which, considering the size of my channel, that's pretty good. And don't forget, if you like this kind of stuff, I'm going to try to do more live streams. If you like this, and if you like to improve your drone videos or just your videos in general, go ahead and click that subscribe. Hey, no problem. I'm glad to. Thanks. Hey, Jeffrey, guess you're not the only one here. What's Raising the Bar music? Oh, I like that. That's a good one. I'm glad to give you that info. And Jeff, I'm glad you're not the only one here. But if you have a question, Mr. Jeff, go right ahead. And I just forgot what I was saying. I'm sure I'll remember it soon. Oh yeah, if you like the channel and like this format and whatever, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like this information in this video, go ahead and click the like button. Make sure you share it with people. Tell everybody about it. We're growing a really nice community. Jeff has become pretty heavy duty in this community. I've got another guy that I talk to occasionally. I think he's probably at work right now. Tom, he's out in the state of New York. He's in upstate New York because he's not in the city. But I would like to, like I said, we're open up. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're in the Facebook group. Ah, you're Carl. Hey, Carl. Welcome to the live stream. Jeffrey is also, he's in one of the 2 groups that I belong to that are in the Chicago area. Jeffrey runs the Illinois Drone Flyer. What is that the name of it, Jeffrey? Tell me the name of your group. The Illinois Drone Flyers. I don't have it right in front of me. I know you'll put it in there, and hey, feel free to throw I think it will let you put a link in there if you want to join that. If Carl's not part of it already, he should be part of it, right, Carl? Any questions? Seriously, I'd like to have you questions. Oh, a real quick update. Last video that I did, I was very excited because it was the first time I got to fly my Phantom 4 Pro. And during the day, I had gotten a third battery. Well, yesterday I went out. Ah, you guys know Carl. Drone Flyers of Illinois. Thank you. Okay, so you guys know each other. Cool. So, anyway, so I went out and I got to fly my drone. I tried out my third battery, and I got an error. Battery signal error. And I looked it up, and I did all this cool stuff. And I actually talked to DJI. And one thing they told me to do, they told me something I was told to never, ever do. They told me to bring the battery down to 0%. To reset it, because everything else they tried didn't work. I had backed up or reset the firmware and all this other stuff, and they said just bring it to 0% and then charge it back up. So I did that. I was surprised it even charged back up, but it did. But guess what? Still has a battery error. So I will be talking to DJI soon, and from what I understand, this is not an uncommon issue. It's not super common, but it's definitely happened before. And that they pretty much replaced the battery. I just have to send this back, which is fine. I'm a little bummed, so, that's how it goes. And we have a question from Carl. I'm still learning, so when recording on the Mavic, should I set it at 60 frames per second at 1080p? That's a good question, Mr. Carl. It depends on what you want to do. What is your end result? If you want to have something that you prefer, or you may want to do slow-mo later, yes, you want it at 60 frames per second. And I believe the Mavic does 4K, so you might want to do 4K if you're going to do like a video that you want to zoom in, or something you want to be able to crop or do something else with that with the 4K. Make sure you have a really good computer to deal with the 4K video. But the 1080p, 60 frames per second, if you want to do slow-mo. Now, what I do, the P4P, and I was shocked that I could do this, I can record 4K in 60 frames per second. So that's what I do. And my computer hates me for it, because it really does not like those files, because they're monster files. So if you don't have a good computer, don't. And my computer, like I said, chokes on it a little bit. There is a workaround for Premiere Pro. Anyway, so I'll tell you in a second, Jeff. I saw your question. I'll be there in just a second. So anyway, I record in 60 frames per second all the time, just so that I have the opportunity in case I find some scene that's really good and I want to make it a slow-mo. Otherwise, when you render it to 30, it's going to remove those frames anyway. I mean, you'll have the raw footage at 60 at all times, but if you don't need or never want to do slow motion, there is absolutely no purpose for you to do 60 frames per second. It will be a larger file, because there's more data. So if you don't want to use all the data on your cards, you don't want to mess with the computer being slowed down a little bit. I doubt 1080p. I doubt it really slows it much down. But if you don't need the 60 frames, don't do it. But if you think you're going to use it, go right ahead. I do it. So where did I purchase my P4P? Some guy off the corner here, he got out of the back of a truck. Just kidding. I got it online on Amazon at a site, I think it was Beach Camera. They had a nice kit, as you can see. Well, actually, let me move the Q&A thing for just a second. But this right here, this case right there, that case came with it. I'm going to tell you something right now. That case is a piece of crap. The zipper already is broken on it. It tried to break a little bit, and it's not I don't like it. Racing the Bar, what computer specs do you recommend for 4K footage? That's a good question, and that's something Jeffrey actually asked me personally yesterday. You want to have a good one. You want to have a Core i7, an Intel i7. Best you can, the lowest end is fine but if you can get the best i7, it's kind of a waste of money. I mean, get one about 2 or 3 levels below the most expensive, whatever it happens to be at the time. Get good fast RAM that matches your motherboard and your CPU, and as much as you can get. 16 gig minimum. 32 gig would be best. The 4K is going to need a big video card. Now, of course, if you really want to spend some money, there's this cool one. It's called I think it's the GTX 1080. That would do very well. But you don't need to go that far. You can do just make sure you get a lot of good fast RAM. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go to like Micro Center or Best Buy or get online and you see a video card that says it's awesome and it's $100, you're going to want to double that price, because two $200 to $400 is right around where you're going to want to spend for a good video card. And if you can, you want to have an SSD as your C drive, because with the SSD, the fast GPU or graphics card, video card, whatever you want to call that, and with the CPU, the i7 CPU, and the RAM, those four things, I mean, that's a lot. That's the core of your computer, but that's all of those will determine how well your computer deals with video files. I know that if I updated my graphics card, my RAM, my CPU, and my hard drive, I would not have a problem. But my computer chokes a little bit, but there's also a workaround, like I said, with Premiere Pro. You have to have Premiere Pro. Will Amazon send me another battery from a replacement, or are they making it go? Well, let's see, Jeffrey. With mine, I'm going through DJI. I've been using their help, and we'll see how it goes, because it is a DJI battery. See, it's got the DJI. This is the actual case. So, and it says 4 Pro right there. So we'll see. I will probably have to discharge that battery before I send it back, because right now that's probably at like 99%. And yes, I will discharge it down to whatever they tell me. I think, 35% or 50% before I ship it. So yeah, I'm going to go through DJI. I'm not going to deal with, because that battery was actually purchased through another store that was on Amazon. I don't even really remember. It was just the prices were all about the same. It was an Amazon Prime. So it's whether I have to go through them or through DJI, I don't care. But I'm sure I'll get through it, and I'll get another one hopefully soon. But I will go through. We'll see what DJI says. I haven't had time to call them or deal with them today, so I'm going to deal with them probably after this live stream or first thing in the morning. Wow, 16 minutes. Boy, yesterday's lasted like almost 50 minutes. Well, 30 minutes because of my technical difficulty. No problem. Hey, take care, Carl. You have a wonderful day. You need to replace this computer since it's rather old. My other computers around are even older. Yes, you do need a new computer. You can, honestly, Jeffrey, if you would buy a laptop, there are some laptops that'll do a really good job, but you're going to end up spending some money. No matter what, you're going to throw in some money. That's the whole thing. But if you go into, I guess Best Buy would be okay, but if you tell them, look, I want to edit 4K videos, whether it's Best Buy or Micro Center or whatever your electronic store is of choice, just make sure that they're reputable. And if you tell them, look, I want to edit in 4K and I know I need a beefy computer, I just want to know what you can do and how much and where I can work it out. Now, the specs I gave you with the 1080 graphics card and all this other stuff, that's the high end. I mean, that will definitely edit 4K, probably 8K. So you want to get that as good as your pocketbook will allow you to get. If you're going to buy a computer flat out, you'll probably spend more than $1,000. You might be able to get away with a little bit less. I don't know. I haven't really priced these parts out yet. I haven't built a scratch computer in a long time. I've upgraded mine forever and a day, because I would update bits and pieces, and it's just kind of evolved to what it is today. And it's a pretty good computer. So if we got more questions, I'll just sit and chat with you. I don't care. I'm just glad the audio didn't freak out. Oh. I have to say, I really, really, really do like this little animation. This is like, it took me a little while to do this today. I did this. I made this animation. So let's just kind of pretend. And there's the other thing. If you guys need if you need animations or whatever, guess what? I do all that stuff. This is all me. The main computer is Toshiba Satellite. Is that a laptop? I know those were laptops. I don't know. Did they ever build a PC? I don't know. Did Toshiba ever build a PC? I don't remember if they did. I know I had a Toshiba Satellite, but that was like forever and a day ago. But if that's a laptop, yeah, don't bother upgrading it. I actually have a PC. The thing about a PC or a laptop is that you can put more. Yeah, that's what I thought. With a PC, you can put $1,000 into a PC and get more out of it than you can with a $1,000 laptop. Now, there are laptops that you can spend between $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 and like with Alienware, and you're going to get top of the line everything, that will edit 4K. But do you really want to do that? Excuse me, I have to adjust. I got a different chair today, so it's a little bit more comfortable, but man, I've been sitting a lot today. Well, we only got 2 people watching now, but the way this works is it's been working out to where people watch the videos later. I'd like to say hi to everybody watching. I'd like to say thank you very much, and I will, I'm kind of signing off right now, but if there are more questions as I sign off, I will obviously answer those questions because I really like to talk to you guys. This is actually kind of fun for me. It's kind of a rush to be able to do these, and like I said, I might be doing one tomorrow. Oh, geez, Jeff, i3. Yeah, you're not doing anything but 1080p on that. Yeah, you need to update that. But you know this. Anyway, what I would like to say is, number one, I do appreciate everybody watching my videos. It's fantastic. I feel like I'm growing a really nice audience here, and you guys are so nice to me. And I like doing these live streams. It helps me out. It's kind of a nice little outlet to talk drones and computers and tech and video, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I like to do video. I mean, this is cool. This is easy because it's easy to edit, because once I'm done, it's done editing. Which is nice. But again, thanks for watching my stuff. And if you like the stuff, again, subscribe to the channel, because I make a tip video every week, whether it's in the live stream form like that is today, because that's what today's is. Today's is the tip with the frames per second. And then I also do other videos. I do these live streams, and I'll put some aerial videos up. Obviously, since I'm still learning my P4P, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to do some more videoing, hopefully this weekend. I did some practicing yesterday and forgot to put in my SD card, so no footage. Anyway, so thank you again for that. And I do all this stuff, so subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share this video. We got more. And if you do have questions after the live stream and you leave it in the comments, I will answer them in the comments. I'll talk to you in a second, Jeffrey. I will talk to you offline, and we'll make a time. Anyway, subscribe. What's all the other stuff I gotta say? I forget. Well, I've got to do other stuff. But yeah, if you do have a question and it's after the live stream, feel free to leave it in the comments, because I do watch the comments, and I will answer them, or at least someone else in the audience will answer them. Also, if you if you're in the Illinois or the Chicagoland area, we have this group on Facebook that Jeffrey is in charge of. And no, he did not pay me to do this, even though I think he should pay me. How about a glass of water next time we see each other? The Drone Flyers of Illinois on Facebook. So go ahead and join that group if you are a drone flyer, and I'm sure he would be more than happy to help you in there, get you in there, and have more people in it. As long as you're welcome for doing the live videos. As long as you are a drone pilot and not a jerkwad, Jeffrey will be more than happy to have you in that group. It's a pretty fun group. It's nice and small, and not too many people in it, and I kind of like it that way, but I'd like to have a few more people in there, and I think he's done a fantastic job with it. So there's enough promo for you, Jeffrey. That's it, no more. But there's also another group, the RC Chicago group. That's the other group I belong to, and that's the other one you can find too. And John is in charge of that. He's not here. I think that's all I've got. I like these live videos. I might do these more often. And until next time, guys, I want you to fly safe. And of course, I have to do the old sign off as soon as I get ready to hit the end button. So fly safe, and bye.